Okay, as I make for a fun experiment, I am out for a bike ride. I'm planning on taking Walker Street up to Louisiana Avenue. I'm going to stop at Shady Oaks Park on the way, and from there up to 26th Street back to my house. I'm probably not going to be recording this full time. That would be, preposterous, since I'm recording on a mobile phone instead of a camera, or, my laptop. Truth be told, I don't even know if I'm going to get audio on this, but it should be fun to try. Largely, I'm doing this just for the exercise, to talk to myself, and exercise in general. So, while I was at work today, a couple of my coworkers picked up on the idea that I was clearly not right. Something is just wrong with me. Which, I'm actually happy that some of my coworkers were attentive enough to pick up on that. Usually people who are both introverts and suffer from chronic depression have no choice but to suffer alone. Well, this was about as advantageous as disadvantageous in the long run. I saw the same person was out biking earlier today. So, my boss calls me aside, brings me into the cooler, and she asks me, "Hey Dustin, what's going on?" Well, I don't know how to approach this question, to be completely honest. Just something is wrong, and I can't say what for sure. But, I'm consumed by this overwhelming sensation of dread. I'm sure that any of you who have been listening to other videos on surviving depression have heard the same thing. Or, if you have it yourself, I'm sure that that's easy enough to understand also. Great sunset. Well, I've now made it to the park. After a little bit of my boss trying to work this out of me, I try explaining to her what clinical depression is. And, may the powers of the universe bless her, she tries to understand what I'm saying. But it's nowhere near simplistic as she thought it was. She made the same mistake that my previous doctor made in thinking that depression is just in your head. It is and it isn't. But long story made short, that which is physiological is psychological. That which exists in the brain manifests itself in the body. This basically means that a chemical problem requires a chemical solution. But she tries to say, well, Dustin, there's a lot of things you can do to control anxiety. Have you tried counting? Sure, why not? Yes. Counting is a rhythm exercise. That's why you pause in between numbers. Then it goes on to, are you breathing? Of course I'm breathing. Breathing isn't something that you do electively, something you do passively. You can choose to control your breathing. That's called autogenics, which is great if what you're trying to do is control your adrenal glands. But adrenaline is one of only 4 chemicals in the bloodstream which control your mood. The others, if I'm not mistaken, are serotonin, melatonin, testosterone, and estrogen. I'm now leaving the lake. Holy shit, I'm making good time. So, this conversation largely goes nowhere. But, thankfully, something does come up that reduces my anxiety for a little bit. I bumped into my coworker, Lise. Actually, she's not really my coworker, she's in a different department, but, you know, apples to apples in this case. So, Lise, as I stopped to talk to her, tells me that she does know what this is. She's been being treated herself since since 96. Cool, that's about when I started. Boy, I wish I could show you where I am. But phone case covers the front of my phone. So rear camera only. Now, talking to somebody else who's in the same position as I am, that is cool. That is real help. Temporarily. I told you already about my psychotic episode 2 weeks ago. I mentioned that in yesterday's video. Well, Lise had the same experience back in 2000. You know, right down to running down the streets of Minneapolis naked. Which, that's cool. If that's actually a thing. But, well, I was found by my roommate. She was found by the Hennepin County Police Department. The Hennepin Police apparently took her down to HCMC, Hennepin County Medical Center, threw her in the padded room for a week. Upon getting out, she was put on a program by the courts to actually get her some pretty decent help. You know, a state-funded counselor, Social Security pension. In her case, clinical depression had become crippling chronic depression. There is treatment out there for people who are suffering from mental illness. And I'm happy to hear that. Ow, bushes. Ow, bushes. Ow, that was unpleasant. Alrighty. Well, this has actually been a lot of fun so far. Biking and talking at the same time seems to be working out okay for me. Green light. Now on Louisiana Avenue. I just crossed Minnetonka. That means my house is only 3 blocks away. Back when I first started getting treated for depression, I'm sure I've mentioned this, it was mistaken for being social anxiety disorder. I was then re-diagnosed a couple years later with general anxiety disorder. Till my current doctor pointed out that general anxiety and social anxiety can both be symptoms in a man for clinical depression. It turns out that the symptoms for a man are different than symptoms for a woman. Men, when are consumed by self-doubt, self-loathing, and overall sense of hopelessness, don't always collapse in on themselves and, you know, start crying and just uncontrollably sobbing and try to perform self-mutilation. Men, when put in the same position, tend to become angry, violent, irritable, and isolationalist. So, be aware of the people around you. Know that all of us have a struggle that we're fighting through. And if you can, be aware of the people around you. Help when you can. This has gone on long enough. I'm actually back in my house now, so I'm going to pack this in. Thank you very much. Have a good day.